astonished by some of the Arsenal fans' attitude towards Arteta. When you see progress, when you see success, OK, not in terms of silverware, but success doesn't have to be silverware all at once. The building blocks, you know, they've been coming second. Last season, they came second, and then a semi-final of the Champions League. This season, they were second or first, and now a final of the Champions. It's progress all the time, and just if they didn't win it this season, I bet you there would have been calls for him to be sacked again. It's awful, really. It's pathetic, and I've not liked that throughout the season. However, you know, now he's won it, hopefully all those cries will go away and they'll give him the respect that he deserves.
Is that not, as you were saying, the fine lines of modern-day management and
that's what it's all about
in this day and
That's
age?
what it's all about. I mean, an added bonus, like I said at the top of the show, is that Guardiola's not going to be, we think, at Man City. And he stopped him winning the league twice. Otherwise, they would have done it a few years ago. Jurgen Klopp stopped him doing it. Genius managers, you know, are no longer in the Premier League or next season. So it gives them a better opportunity to be able to do it again. And the noise stops now. You know, the questions are going to stop. Have they got the bottle? Have they got the character? They've got all that now. They've got the squad. They've certainly got the squad. They find a way. They know different ways to play the game. They're getting over the line. You have to give credit to them. You have to hold your hands up and say, you won it, fair and square. Whoever gets over the line first, has more points, deserves to win the Premier League. You don't do it by luck. It doesn't matter if they score goals from set pieces. It doesn't matter they've had 8-1-0 victories. It doesn't matter. In history, it will not have an asterisk by it, identifying the reasons why. It will just say champions 2026 Arsenal.
And also the fact they've been top for almost 230 days this season. They've led the way, haven't they? They've been there to be chased all season.
Yeah, they've been the most consistent team. I think their worst performance and worst game is very close to their best. That doesn't mean the most exciting throughout the season. I think City have been more exciting to watch at certain stage of the season, but the consistency wins you the title, and they've been the most consistent throughout the whole season. Yes, and I think the kind of status of them being at the top for so long would have had a bigger impact if they didn't go on to win.
Yeah.
But again, like Tim said, no one's going to care how long you are at the top when you go on to win. There's no details attached to that trophy. It's going to be gold. It's going to be remembered forever.
And let's spin it as well. If that was the Everton game at the Hill Dickinson for Man City, and today at the Vitality for Bournemouth, that was Arsenal going to them games. The reason they would have lost them games is what? Bottle, character. They're not saying that about Man City because they've already been there and they've done it. We're not saying that about them. It's just sometimes you just lose games. But if you're Arsenal and you haven't got over the line and you've come second 3 times, people always say it's just the character, it's just the bottle. You haven't got the character to be able to get over the line. Now they have, that noise will stop, and that will be a blessing to them all.
Yeah, the noise will stop. So when you've won one and then you win another one, as you did, Jolien, I mean, when you're going for the second one, how different is it, the fact you've been that course before and finally completed it?
It's different and difficult for different reasons based on the expectation probably that everyone has now. It's not going to case of be a bottle. It's going to be an expectation, oh, Arsenal should be doing this. They should be doing that because they've done it before. So it's going to flip on its head. The pressure's still going to be the same, but you have an inner belief and experience to reference. So, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But like Tim said, I think they're the next team that's best placed because they've got so many elements already in place. Yes, there might be equally as attractive managers and styles of play, but Man United haven't played in Europe, so they've got that to attend to. Yeah. Xavi Alonso has got a new squad, so that, again, on a slot is difficult for him as well. So in all the elements, City potentially a new manager. So what you're looking at as a complete package and club, Arsenal have most of them elements in place.
I mean, we thought about Liverpool last season, didn't we? But we certainly, or I certainly think about Arsenal. You can see them repeating what they've just done. I mean, there's nothing that they've done that you think, wow, I mean, this is a very, very strong, solid, efficient team that you can see.
Squad.
They're going to do it again. You can see them knocking that points total together again. And when you look at the opposition, Liverpool are in turmoil, you know, Chelsea are in turmoil, they're playing really poorly. Manchester United are upwardly mobile at the moment, but they've still got a lot of surgery to a couple of players going, big players going. As you say, European football to contend with, it might be a year to... A lot of the top teams are struggling at the moment. There is an opportunity for Arsenal if they keep that consistency, which I can't see any reason why they wouldn't. As I say, I couldn't see any reason why Liverpool would this season. Then it could be theirs for the immediate future.
And that seed of doubt that there's been there this season. We haven't won one, and everyone's easily, like you're saying, sitting in television studios going, well, they haven't got over the line, they haven't won a trophy. They have now. So that makes it a little bit mentally easier when you've got one.
Absolutely, because they haven't got to listen to that noise. They might say internally that it's nothing about that, but we would always say it is, because it's the only thing we can see what is missing from their squad. They have the ability. They have different ways of playing. The manager's very good. They're set piece, they get over the line. I think they tick all the boxes apart from actually being able to achieve it, and now they've achieved it, so we can't point the finger at them that. All the light bulb moments for Arteta, all the TikToks and he's getting ridiculed for, all pays off now, all makes sense. Everyone says, well, it must be the right way to go about it. He's quirky in the way he manages, and I think the questions will stop being asked now because he's a winner. He's a winner and he's capable of doing it again. And what he would have learned from Guardiola is how to get back on the horse and do it again. This is gone now. We've won it. Let's get on to next year. Let's strengthen this squad. Let's build it again, and we go again. And that is relentless management. And you would have seen it when you've won it previously, you know, repetition of doing it again. We wasn't able to do that. We didn't have the foundations in there. It was almost like we limped over the line and it was exhausted after that. And it was just such a relief, and it was working out. Then we stopped investing. We had players who took come into the club. We didn't do that. Arsenal have done that, and they will go again. There will be some top signings who want to come to Arsenal because they're the Premier League champions now, and possibly champions of Europe.
Absolutely. And as I say, the last time they did it was the Invincibles 22 years ago. And when you speak to the team and squad that won it, they can't believe they've had to wait that long. But in the Premier League era, only 3 teams have won it more. Chelsea, 1 ahead. City's 8, and of course Manchester United's 13, although none, of course, since the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson. So 4 Premier League titles now, Michael, and for a club of Arsenal's size, they'll look at that list and they'll want to get level with Chelsea, and then they'll want to put themselves, you know, towards the higher echelons, won't they? That's the history of Arsenal. It demands that.
Exactly, and this is their moment. You know, it's very, very difficult to be one of the best teams and to stay there. And we've seen teams over the years. Look at the successful teams at the moment from that list there. Chelsea in and around them. You know, they're miles away from it at the moment. That's going to be years before they can build. They might have to do an Arsenal and come second and second and second. You know, that could be 5 years if things go well. You know, you can't just do it like that. This is a building block. This is a hard league to win. And some of those teams that are higher than them numerically, let's say, you'd have to say that Arsenal are the favourites now to close that gap rather than other teams going further ahead. This is a young, fresh, hungry team with a real hungry manager, good players, solid players. You know, they look like they're in a solid financial position into the Champions League final. That can only enhance their experience as a squad as well, the finances off the back of it. You know, if they manage this well, they could be here to stay for the next, 5-6 years. Who knows? If they win the Champions League, are we putting them down to the greatest Arsenal team we've ever seen? Would they surpass the Invincibles? Yeah, not for me. In results, of course.
On achievements, they have to be up there.
But not to watch.
I mean, you're looking at Thierry Henrys and Bergkamps and players like that. I mean,
but it also depends on what they go on to achieve.
But they didn't win the Premier League and Champions League in the same season, did they?
Well, as I say, on achievements, no.
They didn't win the Champions League, yeah. They've only been in one Champions League.
But they've had a whole career as well. Like, let's say they go on to win 3 more titles and a couple more Champions Leagues, and it's the same group of players like we're speaking about, then you will have to say that. But at the start of their careers, like, we wasn't talking about Thierry Henry the same way we're talking about Bukayo Saka at 22, 23, because he hadn't achieved the Premier League. So if they go on to achieve what we are saying they can do over the next 4 to 5 years, then there's definitely a larger conversation there.
You just said they're not obviously the best to watch. In terms of the open question from Tim, but does that matter here and now? If you were an Arsenal player, do you?
No chance. No one's ever going to remember how you play if you win. Like, you analyse it if you lose, and you look back and think, oh, what could you have done different? But when you win, and your objective is to win the title or win the FA Cup or any competition, and you win it, you never look back and think, how did we play? Because you got the job done. And the other thing is, it's not like they've won it playing like this at the moment. That's not to say they're going to be like this forever. I mean, Arsenal would love to find another centre-forward. They're not happy with Gyökeres, really.
They're not happy with a couple of positions. If someone comes available that's top, if a Thierry Henry comes available again, they would move heaven and earth to get somebody like that in. So, and that might change the dynamic of things as well. So, okay, you know, they're not the greatest of watches. Granted, I'd say that, but that's not to say that they're going to be like that forever. They might evolve. They might get better. They've got to be careful, like a Liverpool, spending 400 and something million over a summer, trying to be even better again, that they don't ruin what they've got, but they might become even better. And that's the risk, and that's the management, and, you know, that's the next stage,
I don't think that's the case for them, because I don't think they're heavily reliant on any individual. I think Liverpool have been and tried to spread bet now, knowing that Mo Salah was coming to the end, and having been so reliant on him, how do we now spread that load and that responsibility? Arsenal aren't relying on anyone really. They're able to change players, and their squad is so strong and so consistent throughout their squad. I don't see them doing anything drastic in the summer. I see them adding obviously starters, but all of a sudden their squad gets stronger because they're adding equal amount of quality and not taking any chances.
Do you think at Arsenal you got any superstars? You know, like egos of like Mo Salah, we've seen recently. You know, I love Mo Salah. We want to see him stay in the Premier League. He won't now, he'll move on, but he's been a pleasure. But the way he's behaved, I don't see that happening at Arsenal. You know, I don't see any of their players talking out against the regime, against the manager. I don't see that happening.
Is that because the manager a few seasons ago made a big thing about changing the culture? The Aubameyang transfer was the first thing, wasn't it?
Clear them out. It's really important, but people don't see that in the background. You notice it, we notice it, we've been in the game a long time, but the fans need to realise that it's a really important job, and it might set you back, but you come forward a lot stronger in the end.
But also, Tim, the status of all these players, and it's different to Mo Salah. Mo Salah's status at Liverpool was bigger than Arne Slot's, regardless of what he achieved. That isn't the case at Arsenal. Arteta's status is equally as big as anyone's, because he's developed them. Regardless of if you've come, like Declan Rice, come for 100 million, he still made you a champion. He still thought you was the guy that was going to do that. But because Sakho, he's developed into this captain and obviously player for England. Like, Mo Salah's status was